Hello and welcome back to the Small Games Spotlight series, where I bring you some often below the radar indie games, newly released smaller titles and demos to give them some time in the sun. Today's small game I'm giving a spotlight is by far the most creative game I've seen in 2026, The Eternal Life of Goldman, developed by Weappy Studio and published by THQ Nordic. Now don't get it twisted, this game actually isn't out yet. These thoughts I'm putting into video format are entirely from the demo that can be found on Steam, which released the other day. And whilst said demo isn't on consoles yet, I'm sure it'll arrive eventually as the game's scheduled to be released on more or less every platform, although we don't have a release date just yet. If you're an indie dev looking to have your game showcased, please reach out via my social links on the channel, and if you're a new viewer here, I do reviews, deep dives, boss rankings and topical videos, as well as videos like these on the channel, so feel free to check it out and subscribe. If you want to go the extra mile, I now offer channel memberships for $1.99 a month that'll give you some extra perks in return for your support. Now let me info dump about this fantastic game for a bit. Of course, as with a lot of the games I seem to feature on this series, the first thing you'll notice is the incredible art style, featuring hand-drawn animation similar to the indie hit Cuphead. These designs just jump out of the screen at you immediately, and there's always a million different things going on screen at any one time, without being too busy. A fantastic display of not only colour and artistry, but downright creativity as you see bizarre creatures, over-the-top caricatures, sprawling vistas and extremely busy backdrops. These all interplay together without a single glitch or dropped frame, and it must have taken years to design all of this. Just in the demo alone, you can go from a snowy village, to a hollowed out monster skeleton, a tropical beach town, to a run-down industrial fort. So let's get to the setup of the game, which again is pretty unique. See, you play as the titular Goldman, an old man equipped with a special cane that's said to be the prophesized hero of the archipelago, the wacky otherworldly land you find yourself in. The thing is, this isn't actually the case. You're playing out a story being told by who I assume is a mother to her sick child, meaning settings, enemies, HUD elements, and even your map can be changed on a dime depending on what the narrator or her child says. It has been done before, but it's an extremely clever device to keep the story fresh, and I'm all for the level of weird, potentially mushroom-induced craziness that goes on in this game. There's also a significant amount of well-written and funny dialogue. In the gameplay you'll see me skip through a lot of it, but this is actually my second playthrough of the demo, so I didn't spend as much time reading this time through. With the story and art of the game to one side, what's the actual gameplay here? Well, I've seen people put it on Metroidvania lists as one to watch, but having played this for myself now, I think they've gotten the wrong end of the cane. What The Eternal Life of Goldman actually is a pretty in-depth 2D platformer, more akin to something like Super Mario World or Donkey Kong Country than a Hollow Knight. In some cases the platforming can get pretty hardcore too, asking you to be pretty near pixel perfect at times, but the saving grace is the fact that checkpointing is instantaneous. Whilst the game may ask you to do a pretty large section between each checkpoint, if you die it's practically 1 second before you're back in the action, a bit like Celeste. This does get onto my one single complaint for the game though, the penalty you get for dying. 1 missed pixel, 1 failed bounce, and you're back in the action, yes, but at the cost of your currency. This very quickly adds up when it's so easy to get into a loop of trying again, and caused me significant annoyance when I went from something like 3,000 coins to literally 0 in 10 quick restarts. It appears since writing this part of the script, the amount you lose upon death has actually been greatly reduced, so live happy in knowing the devs are listening to feedback. Aside from this one gripe that's already been fixed though, The Eternal Life of Goldman offers quite open-ended choices, at least in the demo, on where you want to go and seemingly what happens in the story, with various open-ended dialogue choices. You can pursue a few different things once you unlock the fast travel that all end up at the same goal, and instead of being Metroidvania levels, where you have to remember to come back later, most of the levels are pretty much linear, save for a few secrets tied to side quests. This puts a huge emphasis on the here and now, and makes the gameplay more immediate, so it's very engaging. As for what counts for combat in the game, Goldman is equipped with his trusty cane, which is actually modular. You don't swing the cane though, instead you use it to bounce on the heads of enemies. The modular nature of the cane means you have different handles, shafts and tips throughout the world that offer completely different gameplay options. You can either sit in a menu to craft a specific cane and see what each piece does, or you can use the D-pad on controller to switch between different parts on the fly for whatever situation you're in. The example given in the demo is using the non-bouncy shaft part to get through a low-hanging set of spikes in a cave, but no doubt they can get really sadistic with their combinations in the later game. There's also a massive potential when it comes to movement in the game, with sprint jumps on top of your various cane moves, giving movement tech only speedrunners can truly abuse, but as a layman, it feels amazing to pull something off by the skin of your teeth. This game offers such a massive variety of gameplay and visual ideas too, with just the demo alone covering abandoned forts, caves filled with weird wiggly worms, snowy areas and a Caribbean island literally on fire. I can only imagine what sort of weird and wonderful things Weappy Studio come up with for the rest of the game. The last thing to mention is how fun the boss fights are. Whether they're not offering anything completely out of the box or mind bending, but they implement things learned throughout the levels to beat the creatively designed boss, and it looks so unbelievably cool. Although I must admit I felt genuinely sad fighting the mouse boss, it just goes to show that animation really does work to make you get invested in the game. This brings me to my overall thoughts on the eternal life of Goldman, and I'm genuinely really looking forward to when the full game comes out, which I'm hoping is this year. The amount of variety on display within this demo alone is impressive, not just from how busy every environment is, how many secrets there are to find out and how quickly the world can change on a whim, but the fact that this is all hand-drawn bespoke animation and features quite a few levels already. Up until now, only Studio MDHR, known for Cuphead, have managed to pull off such an arduous task, and whilst I'm a sucker for a great art style, the tight, bankable mechanics for the platforming take this project to a whole other level. I want more of this weird, trippy experience in my eyeballs right this second, and the fact I'm more excited to play more of this than something like GTA 6 speaks volumes. We need more creative new IPs like this and less run-of-the-mill sequels. I don't think words do this game justice. You have to experience it for yourself. The Eternal Life of Goldman currently has a placeholder date of December 31st, 2026, meaning THQ Nordic and Weappy Studios are planning to release the game this year. As I said before, this game is releasing on Steam and all the major consoles day and date, and I cannot wait. The demo is available now only on Steam if you want to check it out for yourself, but no doubt it'll be coming to consoles very soon. If you feel like you learned something about the game, drop a like on the video to let me know I helped you out, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more gaming content like this in the future. I'll drop the links to the store page and the dev's social media down below, and if you want to speak to me directly, you can drop me a message over at x.com/gracious_rhino. I'm Gracious Rhino, look after each other, and I'll catch you soon.